Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about the thoughts that run through our head. Um, so if you are new to my channel, or if you've been watching for a little while, you know that I'm relatively new to this entire being very conscious of your thoughts, being very conscious of the way that the world affects you on the inside. And I'm learning more and more every day, just like you. But what I realize as I learn more is how hard some thoughts are to let go of, especially if you are like me. I consider myself an overthinker. My mind is always running at 250 miles per hour because I feel like I'm an idea person. So, you know, when you function this way, you're kind of used to always thinking about the good and the bad that can come out of situations, kind of trying to see every angle of things, every angle of what can happen, but that could, not always be beneficial. So, what I'm learning is that thoughts do become things. There is no doubt about it. There is scientific evidence to prove this. But personally, I just feel like it all comes back to perception. Once perception is reality, it doesn't matter if you agree with another person's perception because they agree enough for the both of you, you know? So, one example, I was listening to a podcast the other day. I will link it down below. It's a law of attraction podcast. And there was a guy, he wrote a book, and he was talking about police and how a lot of white police officers are just conditioned, and not even just white police officers in general. Some of them can just be conditioned from pop culture and, you know, the images that are primarily portrayed of black men to see black men as being more violent. So when they're in court and you're listening to them testify because they shot an unarmed black man, they still say in court, even though there's proof that the man was unarmed, they will still say, I saw him reach inside so and so and pull out a gun. They saw a gun. And that's a very, very good example of how thoughts do become things. That is that person's reality. We don't have to get into the politics of it, but just to show you, for that police officer, that man did have a gun because those thoughts were so strong. Oh, the kids just got out of school. Well, that really helps me sit back and think about like some of my thoughts. Like how many things do I think on a daily basis that actually turn out to be so far from reality, but it's just how I was conditioned and how society has shown me things, you know? Um, so then getting back to us as individuals, we think all these thoughts all the time. Now, whether you are more of a calm person who kind of just lets life happen and take things as they come, I applaud you because I'm trying to learn how to be like that. But you probably don't have as much trouble with filtering your thoughts. But if you're more like me and you have a million thoughts a minute, how do you start to figure out which one of those thoughts serve you and which one of those thoughts don't? And I realized, and not even I realized, I read. I read a couple of different books and I'm realizing that the thoughts that feel good are good and the thoughts that feel bad are bad. So when we are thinking negative things about ourselves, when we are thinking negative things about some of the circumstances that we have in our lives, we are establishing a negative tone for our lives. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough friends. My boyfriend isn't good enough. He doesn't do this or that for me. I don't like my clothes. I don't like my job. Like, when you think things like this over and over again, it starts to manifest into, I hate to say it, but almost a miserable life. And your life's not actually miserable, but it's just your perception of things that you see and how you digest them. Now, if you flip it and kind of look at gratitude, and bring gratitude into the equation. If you're the type of person who's like, there are some things I don't like about my job, but I'm thankful to have it. I'm thankful to have my bills paid. I'm thankful to be in a relationship with someone who cares about me. I'm glad to have clothes on my back. I'm happy to have food in the refrigerator. When you start to think things like that, the two examples I just gave, those could be the same person, but it kind of just shows how perception can change one person's view to being completely negative and another person's view to being completely positive, and that determines whether they're living a happy or a frustrated life. Our thoughts do manifest into how we feel every single day, and how we feel is how we act. So I think it's very important that we are paying attention to our feelings and we are paying attention to our thoughts. And if something feels bad, either figuring out if we can make it better or if we just need to throw it out. Because I'm realizing more and more every day there's no reason to ever feel bad. There's really not. And of course life happens, and of course we react, but in the grand scheme of things, life is beautiful. Life is so beautiful. And I just really wanted to share this message with you guys because, like I said, I am an overthinker, and I am learning how to slow down and to become present in my thoughts. I was listening to another podcast, and this guy was talking, and I'll put these in the description box. I need to like start looking these up before I record. But another man, the angry therapist, that is his name. He was actually talking about how we live in time machines and how we're either constantly worried about the future or worrying about something that happened in the past. And I identified so much with that because I'm always worrying about something. My mind is always going like with fake scenarios, and what if I did this differently yesterday, you know? And I'm learning through meditation how to slow down and how to stop myself from doing that. But it's just crazy to see how those thoughts were never beneficial. I would convince myself and tell myself that I'm worrying about something so that I'm prepared. But prepared for what? I'm not God. I can't control what happens. So by creating scenarios and trying to prepare myself for these situations, I'm just bringing myself down. And I'm so happy that I realized this because I'm so much happier learning how to slow down and be happy in the moment. So yes, awkward hands. That is my message for the day. Thoughts become things, so be present and be aware of your thoughts. If you have any thoughts about this video, did you see that mom moment I had? Any thoughts? If you have any thoughts about this video or any comments or anything that you'd like to share, any type of advice on how you slow down, feel free to leave a comment because I'm looking for all the advice I can get. I love the concept of just being present and appreciating things the way they are in the moment. It's beautiful. So if you would like to share your tips and tricks, leave them down below. Alright, you guys, so that's pretty much all I have to say today. Thank you so much for watching another video. I'm keeping up this daily video thing. Are you proud of me yet? Are you proud of me? I hope so. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.